Hello from Gardening at Douentza in Ireland, and this is a video to show you some new orchids I have. In fact, I have a total of 6 new orchids to show you, and also a couple of other purchases. But before we get down to the nitty-gritty of the video, I want to show you 2 things. And the first is these tree lilies behind me, Lavon tree lilies. And you may have seen my video earlier on in the season when I squished the lily beetles that were devouring it. Well, I do still have some bite marks in the leaves, but the lilies have survived, so that's great. And as is usual these days, I'm going to start off the video by giving you an update on who is growing a plant for Josh. So this is the collaborative growing that is happening on this channel. And I have 3 updates to give you. Okay, so the first 2 are expats, let's just say. They're Americans living in Europe. And the first is our very own John Greco. Now, John has a channel which I'm linking to up above. His name, Greco, it means Greek. He's from America, but he lives in Barcelona in Spain. So go figure that one out. But John, who's always been so supportive of me, is growing a golf green hair pig cattleya in memory of Josh. And you'll see a photograph of it at the end. So thanks a million, John. Then the next person I want to mention is Matt Grant, who is from Massachusetts, but living in Germany, in Bavaria. And he is one of my early subscribers who remembers some of the very old videos. So Matt has decided to grow a nepenthes in memory of Josh. Now this nepenthes was recently sunburnt in his greenhouse and he was going to throw it out, but it proved so plucky and so wanted to live that he's giving it another chance and he's dedicating it to Josh. So it's put out 4 new growths, I think, since he started taking care of it after the sunburn. So you'll see a photograph of that at the end. And the last, but by no means least person I want to mention is Daphne Pollock from Philadelphia, who sent me through a photograph of a fantastic pink hibiscus that she's growing with love and in memory of Josh. So thank you so much, Daphne. And I've attached that photo at the end here. So let's go inside now and have a look at the plants the new plants I'm going to show you. The first of my new plants that I want to show you is this wonderful Miltoniopsis orchid you see in the middle of the steps there. And if we go in and have a look at it, it really is quite super. 2 spikes, and the second one was just in bud when I got it. And it's now opening fully. Now we've all grown Miltoniopsis and killed them. I would be an expert at killing them, but I just decided I'd give it one more go. It was such a beautiful plant and the fragrance is magnificent that I just couldn't leave it in the shop. Right now I'm going to insert a little clip, and this is me in Johnstown Garden Centre a little while ago, having a look at all the very expensive orchids they had there, but so beautifully displayed, and trying to make up my mind whether I should actually buy one of these gorgeous Miltoniopsis. Which one? Which one? Well, as you saw from that clip, I had difficulty making up my mind which of the Miltoniopsis to buy in the end, and I chose this one. And one of the reasons was that it was a much more vigorous plant. It had more pseudobulbs in the pot than the other one. Plus, I was racked with indecision and had to call on my husband to give his expert advice, and he said this was the one to get. So this is the one I got. Look at the patterns on these. They are simply gorgeous, aren't they? If only they were a little bit easier to grow. But I'm going to give it another go. Try potting it in pure sphagnum this time. and we'll see how I get on. So that's the first of my new purchases. Well, I was in the supermarket today in Tesco's, and what did I spy? But I mean, you always have a look at the orchids there, don't you? You can't pass by without having a look. And I saw, well, they had a fantastic display, among which were these three absolute gems. Now look at this yellow one. It's fantastic, and the scent is just amazing on it. Really, really gorgeous. And it looks like a grand, healthy plant as well. See all those pseudobulbs? I love the way the flowers seem to open more white. The lip is white and they fade to yellow. Really, really pretty. I just couldn't leave it behind. And I didn't want it to be lonely, so this red one just kind of jumped into my trolley too. Look at that. The flowers are bigger than the yellow one. Not scented so far, but a scent may well come out. And just really, really beautiful. But my favourite of all has got to be this glorious orange one. Now, anyone who's watched the channel for any length of time will know that my absolute favourite colour for plants is orange. Love it to bits. And this is just the kind of burnt orange that I adore. A touch of yellow there on the lip. Again, no scent that I can detect so far, but you know, wow, for flowers that beautiful, we can put up with no scent. And I hear you all asking, how much did that set you back? That must have cost a pretty penny, but this is the best bit. They cost €6 each. Look, I kept the label because I knew you wouldn't believe me. What a bargain. Orchids in flower for €6. And they've lots of nice phals there as well. Absolutely delighted with that. So while we stay focused on these orchids, because they really are fantastic, I want to tell you about a visit I had from a fellow YouTuber. And that was Bumblebee, who came to visit me, I'm not quite sure, maybe a week or so ago, with her boyfriend, and we had a most wonderful afternoon together in the garden, sitting and chatting and gossiping and all that kind of thing. It really was wonderful. I felt my batteries were largely recharged as a result of it, so thanks a million, Bumblebee. And I'm going to link to her channel up above. If you haven't subscribed to her already, you really should. Very knowledgeable person with a measured scientific approach to growing orchids, which is, well, it's very worthy of being portrayed on YouTube. And she brought me some gifts, and I've brought them here to show you. So if we move down here, you can see them. And she brought me 2 species Phalaenopsis, Phalaenopsis equestris, these little babies here. And I was astonished to learn that these little ones are flowering size already. So it really is quite a miniature. I'm delighted because, well, really, you know, my collection of phals isn't very impressive, and it's nice to have something special. And look at the gorgeous clay pots she brought me. And the best thing was the story that went with these. She was talking about, you know, they hadn't been used for 10 years or something, so they're quite heirlooms as far as I'm concerned, and I do love clay pots, so I'll enjoy finding some nice orchids to pot up in those. Again, Bumblebee's channel, it's called Bumblebee, so do check her out and subscribe. And you'll be treated to lots of very knowledgeable, informative, beautifully photographed orchid videos. And that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you liked this video, and if so, check back again for lots more orchid and plant fun. Bye now.